The first step you want to take in order to have a successful wine tasting event is to start with host coaching. You want to partner up with your host. That way you two are on the same page, the same team, and you both can help create a successful wine tasting event. It all starts with creating the expectations of what needs to happen at the wine tasting event. All of your hosts want to have a successful event. Unfortunately, most don't know how to do it. And that is our job as the wine guide to give them the tips in order to have that successful wine tasting event. It starts with your very first conversation with your host. You definitely want to set the expectations as to how many guests you want to have at your wine tasting event. And by guests, we are talking about wine buying, wine loving guests. We don't want to just fill the room with bodies. We want to concentrate on those that enjoy wine, like wine, purchase wine, and plan to purchase wine at the wine tasting event. So have that specific conversation with your host. It could go something like this. Hi Mary, this is Tanya with Traveling Vineyard. I'm really excited for your upcoming wine tasting event. I want to go over a quick few details with you. That way we can get the ball rolling and have a great event. The first thing is we want to talk about guest attendance. We want to definitely over-invite at your wine tasting event because we want to shoot for at least 12 wine-loving, wine-buying guests to be there. So let's go ahead and start planning our list, and we want to invite at least 30 to 35 wine lovers. So start thinking about your friends, family, and coworkers that talk about wine, drink wine, buy wine. That is going to be your main target audience. The next group that you can look at to invite might be some people that you know that really want to like wine and just haven't found a wine they've enjoyed yet, or they want to know more about wine. Definitely invite those people as well. We don't want to fill the room with just bodies because that'll take away wine from those that are really there to enjoy it and then purchase the wine. So that is the biggest part to have a successful event, is to have the key audience there. I'm going to work with you to get the invites set up for that. We have a few different options. I have postcards that I can get out in the mail for your guests. We can set up an evite, which is right through our event management system, and they'd be able to access our online wine tasting room where they can see what wines we have available. Or we can set up a Facebook event. I'll get it all set up, I'll get the proper wording in there, and then I'll add you as the host of the event. That way you can go ahead and invite all of the guests. So that's the main thing we want to work on. As a host, the night of the event, you'll also need to provide a few simple pairings. With the wine tasting, we are going to knock the socks off of your guests by showing them how much a food can enhance a wine. So I will get you a list of some few simple light bites to have out for your tasting. They'll include items like different cheeses, dark chocolate, maybe macadamia nuts or wasabi nuts, and I will get that to you as the wine tasting gets closer. Do you have any questions for me so far? Okay, great. The other thing that we need to make sure of, because this is wine and this is alcohol and it is a highly regulated product, I need to make sure that everybody in attendance is 21 years old or older. If you have a friend or a relative that is not 21 years old but they're coming with their parent, I still cannot do the wine tasting. Our policies and procedures, along with the state regulations, require that everybody in the room, everybody in attendance, must be 21 or older. So keep that in mind as you invite your guests, or if you have somebody ask if they can attend and they're not 21. I cannot do the event in that case. All right, let's talk about wine selection now. We've got a variety of white, red, and sweet wines available. What do you typically like to drink, and do you know what a lot of your guests drink? Do you tend to drink the same type of wines, or is it all across the board? Generally at my tasting events, I bring a variety set of wine because I found that there are so many different types of wine lovers. Are you okay if I bring 2 whites, 2 reds, and a sweet wine? Okay, so that is kind of a sample of what I do with my host coaching on my very first conversation with them. I've set the expectations as to how many guests should be there and what type of guests they need to invite. I've also went over the regulations as far as you must be 21 to attend this event. And then we also talked about the wine selection. As the wine guide, you'll be picking out the wine sets, the tasting flight that you'll be bringing, but it's always great to get an idea as to what your hosts like or what they're hoping to have there. You definitely want to take those guests at the event out of their comfort zone though. So if you have a host that tells you, we only drink sweet wine, that does not mean to bring 5 sweet wines. That means you want to bring them a variety set, but maybe the reds you want to have a lighter, fruitier red, more fruit forward, that will be easier for your guests who typically drink sweet wines. They'll enjoy that. You want to take them out of their comfort zone, get them trying some different types of wine, and learn more about other wines that are available. So those are some host coaching tips that really have worked well in having a successful event.